Okay, I want to talk to you guys about the, the definition of racism. The definition of racism that was put forth by many anti-racist groups on the left, which says whites are the only ones that can be racist because they have white privilege. Whites can be the only ones that can be racist because they are the ones who are the majority who can institutionalize it. That theory is asinine, and I'll tell you why it's asinine. Those who have that theory presume that racism is an institutional act. The essence of racism is an institutional act. It is not an institutional act. Well, the essence of it is not an institutional act. Okay. The essence of racism is a mentality and a attitude. Okay, outside the institution, which can be used within the institution. Okay. Segregation didn't have the act of segregation. Segregating races was not the essence of racism. Okay, it was a racist act, but the essence of racism was the attitude behind segregation, which is purported, which is explained by many white supremacists on YouTube. Okay, using science or scientific opinion. I'm not going to use scientific fact, but scientific viewpoints. Okay, which I don't agree with. Okay, that is the essence of racism. It is a belief system. Okay, it's not. It's a viewpoint. It's an attitude. It's how you perceive a different race. Okay, so the white man who just imagine the whitest person, who has privilege in the United States. I don't know, Donald Trump. Donald Trump can be as racist as the black person that lives in the ghetto in LA. They can be equally racist. Now, I do understand the point that, yes, Donald Trump has power, so he can institutionalize that racism, and it can have more adverse effect upon the black community. However, black people and white people don't just deal don't interact with one another within the institution. Okay? Now, I'm going to be blunt about this. A black on white crime, which is motivated by race, because there are black people who don't like white people, and it's not because slavery and all that. It's because they're more successful. Yes, I'm not downplaying racism. It does exist, but there are black people who would still not like white people because they're more successful. The same thing for whites and Jews. Okay, the more successful, has more money, doesn't like them. Okay. That crime, or that hate crime, which is very possible, which does happen, it has to happen. Okay, I don't subscribe to the theory that blacks don't commit hate crimes against whites. That's retarded. Okay, that's motivated by racism. The same, just like white on black crime, that happens right now, is motivated by racism. A dislike and hostility toward a different race. Okay, it's an attitude. That's a racist act. It doesn't have to be institutionalized. That's ridiculous. I can commit a racist act toward an Asian person if I don't like an Asian person. I can go out, get a gun, and kill an Asian. I'm racist. That's a racist act committed by me. So this notion that, black people cannot be racist because they don't have power. Well, you have to define power. Obviously, we know that they do not overrepresent in the political spectrum, don't overrepresent in the economic spectrum in terms of corporations. But if I have a gun, I can kill you. Okay, some black people have guns, and they will kill white people, not just white people, Asians, Indians, someone who's more successful. Okay, that's a racist act. I'm not saying all black people do that, but this notion that no black person has done that is retarded. I mean, what planet are you from? And that theory and how that theory was constructed is a form of racism. Just be honest. Kick drum, the pro-white person has pointed that out. And if you ask kick drum, we may question the motives of kick drum pointing this out, but the fact still remains. It's a racist act. It's a racist theory. It is. I mean, what kind of absurdity is that? Black people can't be racist? And I've heard it. It's not Kick Drum making this up. I've heard it from, I'm not going to even call out the black people who said it. It's not just the black people, the women, white women. It doesn't matter. There's anti-racists have said that. And that is a problem with the left. We have not called out certain extreme viewpoints on race that in some ways inspire pro-white, I wouldn't say white supremacy, but white race realism, which many segments of it has hostile racist overtones. Okay, I'm just gonna make it that simple. And if we don't do that, well, that's sad to me. So that's all I have to say. Have a nice day.